Hi friends, and welcome back to Decorate Your Life, Scrapbooking and Card Making. Hi friends, and thank you for joining me. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you how I made my camera treat box using this month's Spellbinders APG Die of the Month by Becca Feeken. So in a previous video, you've already seen my easel card that I made using the same set of dies. It lays flat like so, and to display it, it's like so. And I did use a couple of Spellbinders Club kits to make this shaped card and to embellish it, and I will go ahead and leave you with a link to this make in the description area right underneath this video, and there is where you will find everything, the dies that I have used for this card. So I really like the way this one turned out. And I didn't stop there. I made another project using the very same set of Spellbinders dies, but this time I made a treat box. It is a camera treat box. As you can see, I embellished it here using other Spellbinders dies, but you don't have to embellish it the way I have here. You can just leave it to look more like a camera. So the closure mechanism to this box is made in such a way that you can actually tuck these flaps right behind this, the front of the camera, that it holds it in place for the most part. So I did the measurements in such a way that it helps with that aspect of the closure. Now, if you're not comfortable with that type of closure, you can always add magnets to this. Like you can add what is that called? Velcro dots, yeah. So, but it was fairly easy to make, and I'm going to make one right here with you, and I'm going to give you all the measurements and everything and show you step by step what I did to put everything together. But keep in mind that the measurements and everything that I have done is specifically for this camera die right here. So if you have other camera dies, you may want to tweak your measurements to best fit your camera shape. Okay, first I'm going to show you the die cuts that I made. This is from the Die of the Month from the APG Amazing Paper Grace die for October 2020, and you do get a whole bunch of dies, and I'm just going to show you the ones that I actually used in the making of this treat box. And so I use the camera die, obviously, and I went ahead and die cut 2 pieces. Alrighty, and the reason why I die cut 2 pieces is because I need the front of the box to be strong. And so I die cut 2 pieces. I used papers by MINTAY, and I used scraps for the second piece, because you're never going to see the second piece. And let me show you over here. See, you're never going to see the second piece, and so I just use a scrap that I had from years ago, and I just glued them together. And you just got to ensure when you glue that everything just matches perfectly. And so another piece that I used is the flash piece, and I'm sorry that you don't get to see it here. I kind of go overboard sometimes in my making it look girly and whatnot, but there is a flash piece, and you can see the back to it right along here. Now for the flash piece, what I have done is, instead of using cardstock, I used watercolor paper, because I find that watercolor paper is stronger. It holds up a lot longer than regular cardstock. Now you can also use heavyweight cardstock if you wish, and if you do that, you might want to double the pieces just like I have right here, you know, just glue them back to back. And this tip I got from one of my BFFs. Here it is. She knows it's coming. Yeah, I got this tip about using watercolors from my friend Christine. She is Shabby Pink House right here on YouTube. And so, yes, I die cut one piece of that, and you're going to come across a lot of circle dies for the camera. And if you want to see how all of this is used, I direct you to the Spellbinders website or the Spellbinders YouTube channel, where you can see how they put together the camera. I'm doing it a little bit different. And so I'm using the largest circle die that was provided in this kit, and to cut this circle piece right here, which eventually is going to become this piece that you see there. Oh yes, and by the way, any of these embellishments that you see here, these are from past Spellbinders kits. So now, I took a regular piece of cardstock. This is from my heavy duty use cardstock, and I used this piece to die cut this, and we are going to use this a little bit differently than what it was meant to be used as, and but we'll come across that later, and we will be snipping a little bit off of there. So we have that part there, and now there's this other piece here, and this is for the borders. Okay, this is going to cut your borders for your flash top piece and for the bottom piece of your camera. Now for the border piece, I'm only going to use two pieces on here. I'm going to use, even though it cuts everything, I'm only going to use these two, the largest and the one next to it, which is these two right here. You can use your your other border pieces if you wish. Those are the ones that go on here, but I'm not doing that. And so you have a larger and a medium-sized piece, and here let me show you where I use them. They go right here. As you can see, one of them is longer in length, and here's the other one. Okay, and in this kit you're also going to get this piece right here. So as you can see, it's not separated, so when you die cut one piece, you die cut everything, right? So anyhow, this piece that you see here is going to be this piece right here. Okay, see that piece right there. And you may not be able to see it very well, but let me hold it right up to the camera. Now you may see a couple of circle pieces, one there and the other one there, and I am so sorry that I'm not showing this very well, but you will see it later. There's one circle and another circle there. Okay, those two pieces were cut using this, and you're going to have to run it through twice because obviously it's only going to cut once, so I had to run it through twice. Now see this kind of like triangular piece right here? This is for the handles. I'm not going to use the handles. You can if you wish. If you wish, you can die cut two of these pieces, glue them here, and do a string or something, okay, for the handle. But I'm not going to do that because these boxes that I'm making are for swaps, and they are going to go out in the mail. So yeah, I decided I wasn't going to do anything for the handle in case the my swap partners want to reuse these, and you know, I don't want them to have to mess around with handles or anything like that. I want to make it as easy and functional as possible. So yeah, these are the pieces that we have die cut. Like I said, I'm not using these. Let me just push these to the side because I'm not using them. Okay, so we have these pieces. This is going to go back here. Okay, so now for the papers and how much of what you're going to trim. These measurements, everything will be in like a cutting guide in my blog, and I will leave you the link to my blog in the description area below of this video, as well as my affiliate links to everything that you see here in the description area below. So for my cardstock, what I'm using is the heavy duty cardstock. Where do I get my heavy duty cardstock? I get it at Hobby Lobby, and let me show you the one that I get. This is the heavy duty cardstock that I use. I don't know exactly what the weight is. I'm thinking it's 110. I don't know. They don't specify, but this is my go-to heavy-duty cardstock. So you're going to take a piece of heavy-duty cardstock and you're going to trim it to 7 by 9.5. Alrighty, and then you're going to lay it on your scoreboard, and you're going to score at 2.5 inches on all sides. Alrighty, so here we go. The next piece of cardstock that you need is one like this. This one is 6 5/8 by 2 1/8, and you're going to score this. You're going to lay it on your scoring platform like this, and you're going to score at 1 inch, flip it over, and score again at 1 inch. Easy, easy. And now, for your decorative papers, your choice, for your decorative papers, you're going to need one piece at 2.5 by 4 3/8. And this is going to be the back piece. I should point that out. This is going to be the back piece. The bottom piece to your box is 2 by 4 3/8. And notice how I'm using a different piece. It's because this is from scraps, okay? And no one's really going to see this piece because it's always going to be seating. I can't speak. The box is always going to sit like so. So, use your scraps when you can. This one measures 2 by 4 3/8, and that's the bottom piece. Now, for the top piece, this top piece right here, 2 1/8 by 4 5/8. And you're going to have two side pieces, this one and this one. Those sides are going to be 2 3/8 by 1 7/8, two of them. And the sides to the lid, that's going to be almost 1 inch. When you trim it, go to almost just kind of like a hair off of 1 inch, but not necessarily at 1 inch because it may go over. Okay, so it's almost 1 inch by 2 inches. 2 inches this way, almost 1 inch this way. And you're going to need, of course, two pieces. So from this point forward, I'm going to speed up my video while I share with you my process and how I put everything together. You'll be able to see how easy this whole thing comes together, and it's so much fun putting it together. Like I said, you can make it as elaborate as you want it to be. Alrighty, let's get right to it.